fuel only.
Canan was in it when he came in, and you said fuel only, so he'll be in it when he goes back out. So the Ferrari and the Porsche, this is 4th and 5th in the GT. I just thought I saw an indicator on, someone stopping, but no, it was just the way the light popped around the bottom of the graphic. They're on their way, because this is still pretty close. Collado is out front in the pros. Johnny Adam 2.7 away from him. Stanaway 1.5 away from Adam. Then it so the first three, 4.2 seconds between them.
Mathieu Vaxivière now setting personal fastest times for that car, the number 28 LMP2 car, the TDS racing car. That's the car that we saw in trouble, took out the Pierre Caffer driven Ferrari last night, early in the evening. No penalty, I don't believe, for Mathieu, which
Oh no, hang about. I heard someone got a 7-minute penalty.
Okay, which
it might not. I was told that while I quickly grabbed some food.
I will have a look.
Someone got a 7-minute penalty, but now because we were off, basically sorting ourselves out. Someone told me at dinner that they got somebody had got a 7-minute penalty. You can quickly.
It's the only person that would have been would have been him. So that's.
And then if we look at how he's quite a few laps down, so that could have been some of that. I'm just going to go quiet
if it
a bit.
Is.
Let's just listen to this. A 91 Porsche. It's in a battle with the 71 Ferrari. 4th and 5th. The number 8 Toyota currently sitting in 52nd place out of 54 cars that are running. It was a windscreen clean, a headlight clean, fuel. Anthony Davidson stays on board. Fuel going in. There it goes. They're released. Glare of the headlights coming towards us. The 31 car. That is Nico Prost, currently 2nd overall in the race and leading LMP2. Yes, that is right. LMP2 car on the main podium. There's actually 2 of them because their teammate is in 3rd place overall. Rebellion Racing, the car of Prost, Canal and Senna. They have a 45-second advantage over their teammates. It's all just calmed down a little bit. We did have a mad hour and 40 minutes with problems to the Toyotas. It was basically it was like realistically it was a mad 45 minutes, but it did start to brew up for a little bit. Getting ready for a pit stop here. This is the 31 car, I think, isn't it? This is the lead. Yeah, Nico Prost in the pit road. 31 Rebellion out front. On its way in. The lollipop man is ready, pointing him in. There's tyres there. I haven't seen a driver, but the driver could appear from the back. No, just a drink change.
So they're going to do 5. Impressive. Five stints.
He's drinking as much as he can and as fast as he can. But they are going to change tyres.
He's obviously run out of onboard drink. They are ready for tyres.
So he's
unusual for them to give him tyres.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. They're going to give him some tyres. And, yeah. Oh, well.
See there, them picking the wheel nut up off the magnetic.
Yeah, that's quite cool.
It is, and you know, interesting to see some of the GTE class runners with captive wheel nuts. You know, Formula 1 technology. Oh, stalled it. Away he goes again. Yeah, captive wheel nuts on many of them.
What we
see somebody going off, going down through the Forest S's. Minor off, that dust, not a gravel trap, it's just so dry. Number 50 Corvette in trouble again. Who's on board that car now? That's Fernando Reis. He's taken the car over from the boss. And then immediately had a whoopsie.
I did think there was stuff coming out the back of it, but you pointed out it was on the grass. So there is a position change for second and third, pure and simply because the Prost car came in, got new tyres on that car, as we've seen, and he has 43 seconds to make up on his teammate, but he's done 2 more pit stops, more than his teammate.
Yeah, that was the switch to the softs there.
So the 13 Rebellion will come in at some point, and we'll go to 17 pit stops. This is Prost in the back. Right, there's a car going slowly on the right-hand side. I suspect that is Fernando Reis. Not sure for definite, but there is a car going slowly somewhere down here. You see it? There we go. Right-hand side of the track, keeping out of the way, and I got a feeling that is that 50 car that we just saw going wide.
Yeah, definitely. Ooh, or is it? Hang on.
Well, I'm not sure. It's not an Aston Martin because they have the extra lights in the middle, as you can see.
Ferrari-esque headlights on that car that was going slowly in.
Not seeing anything else up on our screens with an S on it to say slow.
Yeah, Fernando Reis slow.
Ah, it is, right, okay, it's just popped up.
Flames spitting out of the number 31, driven by Nicolas Prost, as he heads down into Mulsanne and then runs up towards Indianapolis.
It'll look all right tomorrow afternoon at this moment if it finished now with a Senna and a Prost on the podium.
On the podium, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Dear me.
Senna certainly a name that you have to believe would have stood on the podium here. A real racer who really got it in the same way that Fernando Alonso seems to just get these things.
I'm waiting for him to turn up. So the Labra competition Corvette is still going slowly. Reis, he wasn't on an outlap because it didn't have it.
No, he wasn't on an outlap. He completed a fairly quick lap. He's now dropped onto the 3rd timing page. So his last lap round was a 3:56.0, which isn't off the pace, that's for sure. One of the quicker cars in GTE-AM at that point.
So that's just the leaderboard and overall classification on the screen there. And in first place is the number 1 Porsche. And at the wheel of that car at the minute is Nick Tandy. Second place and leader of the LMP2 category is the 13 Rebellion. Then followed by his teammate, there's a load of P2 cars. The number 2 Porsche currently sitting in 16th place and potentially could see itself on the podium if it keeps going at that pace. Leading the Pro category, we have had a change there that I missed. I'm sure that Johnny Adams now gone back in front. Someone must have pitted, potentially. Yes, the Ferrari pitted. I did miss that, but the 97 car, Aston Martin, followed by the 95 Aston Martin, first 2. Let's just have a look through. So they're split by 2.3 seconds, those 2. There was 3 of them in that battle, which was 5 seconds apart. Moving across to the other screen, and the leader of the GTE AM category is the 84 Ferrari, which is the JMW Motorsport car. The yellow and black Ferrari.
They're another one who all week have just been there. You know, that's their first time out with this 488 Ferrari. And the message we got on the steering wheel of that Porsche, B70, playing with modes.
Well, they look quite happy. The girls look happy, the girls look relaxed.
Number 2 in.
Clean the numbers, clean the lights, clean the windscreen. Put some more drink in for the driver.
Vodka and tonic at this time of day, isn't it?
Dear me. That's what Toyota are on at the moment. The luck that they haven't had.
Right.
If they didn't have bad luck, they wouldn't have any
no
luck. Yeah, that's it.
I agree.
Bollard on inside of curb zone 20. So
I don't know what's happened to Bollard on inside of curb zone 20.
Well, we now have, as we know, the car 50 is going slow after zone 25. So did car 50 have something to do with the Bollard now where it is?
Well, not unless he was just getting out of the way. So number 2 released from the pits. Off he goes down into the Forest S's.
And it's fully on it, isn't it?
Fully on it.
Just straight away.
Straight away, no choice, got to get on it. The tyres will have cooled a little, but not a huge amount. You'll see him reeling. I think that's the Riley in front of us as he comes down. Interesting to see the gaps here with the LMP2 cars. Not as big as you would think. I'm sure that's the Riley.
That's the WeatherTech car, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the Riley. He goes to the right-hand side of him as he runs down now this area where we don't have camera coverage at this time of night. But we'll have these beautiful onboards instead, coming all the way down what feels like an extremely long bit of straight. You can't imagine how long this straight was before the chicanes went in, can you?
I always remember having a conversation with Chris Hodgetts about that, and he just said it was just kind of a bit bonkers, really.
Absolutely, yeah. Chris is a character, to say the least. Number 23 gets released. Just that is who's on board that car now. We'll wait till it crosses pit out. Barrett stayed on board.
The Pro Ferrari was in there. I'm not sure whether that was a driver change. The 2 Porsche back up and running again as fast as it possibly can go. Currently sitting in 16th place.
Nick Tandy screaming down now into Mulsanne. So you just dip right, pick your braking point, get it car stopped. Important to take the apex. Away we go. Yes, using the hybrid energy to accelerate away from the corners and then stop using that energy and just driving forward with the internal combustion engine. One push button to flash the lights there as he ducks down the inside of one of the Spirit of Race Ferrari 488s down into Indianapolis, where we've seen so many issues. Break through the right, down again on a gear, early on the throttle, before the apex in the left, and run down into the slowest corner on the circuit. That is Arnage. Through Arnage now. Now the run to the Porsche curves, my favourite part of the circuit, where they get to open the thing up and really run through this very fast sequence of corners.
Car in front of him now, isn't he?
This is the Porsche curves here. So watching one of the LMP2 cars going around the outside.
Porsche is about to appear though, isn't it?
He is, outside of the 95 class leading. No, sorry, second place in class.
Here it comes, look at it coming, here it comes.
So you see the yellow headlights there, that's the lead battle.
I think
GTE Pro.
I thought the Porsche had come into the
37 and 24 trying to assault each other again in the pit lane.
There's the number 2 car we were just watching, just going through the final chicane. So the 97 car, that's got Johnny Adam on board. That is in the lead of GTE Pro, as you were saying there, Giles. 2.4 seconds between first and second with the Aston Martins. It says the duel. Got a funny feeling they've been told there is no dueling. Just have this feeling.
I think you're right. Anybody in their right mind who's watched what's gone on over the last hour and a half would be telling their team to do not do anything that may compromise the race. Do not push each other. This is your target lap time. This is what I want from you. They're doing 3:53.5s, which is pretty rapid times. The only quicker car last time round in the GTE Pro was Pile, who's now stopped. He did a 3:52.9 last time, so you're going to see the 92 car now.
And Fred Mikovaiki is ready to get into it there. They were in third coming in.
But they're out of sequence. They're the early stopper. so they'll come back through as the stops run through. New tyres now, so that's the Alex Brundle car. Alex, I think, is out of that car. We'll see who's got in as it crosses the pit out beacon.
There's a mechanic bottom sticking out of that Porsche. There's obviously something in the footwell.
Doing something in the footwell, yeah. 21-22 to race control immediately.
Oh. So that is the Dragon Speed car and the G-Drive Racing Dragon Speed car.
The brake dust coming off there as the wheel gun fires the air around. Fred Mako getting on board. Makiewicz come through the Porsche ranks, through Carrera Cup, Super Cup, and then adopted as a Porsche factory driver. I think we'll see young Dan Camish here within 2 years. Something tells me he won the Porsche Carrera Cup race yesterday. Get the steering in the right position, so they're not allowed to move the seats anymore. The seats must stay in the same place. What's going on there, Fred? Why did you slow so much at the end of the pit lane?
I don't think he had his seatbelt. I don't think he had his steering wheel set quite right.
No.
So Nico Prost back up into second place because his teammate has taken a pit stop. So it's Rebellion second and third overall, but first and second in P2 still. It's Aston Martin first and second in Pro. The 97 Aston ahead of the 95 Aston Martin. That's what we're watching here now.
That gap just staying the same. They've been given a target time to do.
Oh, we've got someone going very slowly just out of our window.
65 race, that's the Scuderia Corsa Ferrari 488, currently being driven by Christina Nielsen?
No.
Balzan, the boss on board. Yep, that's the right car.
Right,
Alessandro Balzan on board.
It's got into the pits, I think, but it kind of came across the chicane to go into the pit. It didn't come down the pit road. So I didn't see it spin or anything, to be honest. I just saw some headlights coming towards us and then turning into the pit road. So
I expected that car to be higher up than it is. Christina Nielsen
last, remember you told me.
Did start last after Christina had a little off on Thursday night.
Pit road for the leader. Johnny Adam in Pro is on pit road. Stanaway into the lead and continuing on.
Yeah, Christina had a bit of an off on Thursday night in the first session. They split an oil cooler, did some damage, sat out the final qualifying session, started last, and I did expect them to be coming through, and I expected to see them fighting in GTEM for a podium, because Christina's a pretty handy silver. Alessandro Balzan there, gold, and Brett Curtis, the bronze driver. Brett is pretty good. Those guys have had a lot of success in the US series, but let's see where they are come the morning.
I think this is an AM battle that we're following here, and I think this is for second and third. I'm sure that's the 90 Aston Martin, followed by the 77 Porsche. Second and third in AM. So you see the three red lights on the side of the car. That indicates that it's third in that car is third in its category. Heading down towards the end of another lap. The leader of the race has done 175 laps.
Driver on board that car, somebody I don't know much about, Marvin Deist.
Okay, let me get my book out. Let's see what we can find out. We got the book out. We're quite good. The book's coming into its own now. Car 77. Let me find that.
The sister car, you have to say, was the fancied one of the Proton competition cars, but we lost that car early on in the first hour of the race when it got taken out quite rudely by Roman Rusinov in the number 26 G-Drive Oreca.
Well, Marvin is on his first start here. This year he's doing WEC and Elms in 2017. He's 20 years old and he's from Germany.
What's he come up through, or do we not know?
There was nothing on Wikipedia on him. He's still on a bit of an unknown.
Okay, he's obviously got some talent, running third in the GTE AM class as we speak.
There's some more books on this desk which will have some more information on him. That's what I've got, but there's some more little tiny books somewhere that Mr. Dumbreck had somewhere, but we'll find those. We might be able to find a little bit more. That's a Porsche book, that is. Not sure where Peter's put them. Anyway, we'll find them at some point. It's we have. I did tweet a picture of our comms box not so long ago. It is a bit of a mess, I have to say. 5 of us living in here.
I blame Dumbreck.
And Alan McNish. That's one of the books that we're looking for. But there is a driver book as well. There's a car book and a driver book, but I don't know where the driver book went. Anyway, we're digressing from what we are wanting to talk about. But this is, whoops, my microphone. So we've got a Ferrari being overtaken here. That's the 92 Porsche overtaking the Ferrari.
What a noise.
It's great.
Now riding on board with that screaming
That
Porsche.
was for position. That was for position. I've now found out. Kevin Estre and Pierre Gardi, they're now running 3rd and 4th.
That's what it's like to ride on board with that Porsche.
It's lovely, isn't it?
911 RSR through the fastest part of the circuit into the slowest part of the circuit.
Just a classification update there. The 95 Aston Martin with Richie Stanaway on board leads. Then it is a 71 Ferrari. Then it's these two cars we're watching here. Johnny Adam must...
He's on his outlap.
Yeah, he's on his outlap. Yeah.
Johnny's out of sync with the rest.
Into the pits. Stanaway into the pits as well now.
Yeah, they're a little out of sync. We got the extra stop for the number 95 Aston, caused by the puncture they had much earlier on in the race, but they've recovered from that puncture and the subsequent repair work brilliantly.
Yeah, because they stopped for the puncture and then they had to stop again, didn't they?
Replace the diffuser. Yeah. They have still. I asked Lena Gade last night while we were in the mid-evening stint about what the situation was there with the damage to the left rear corner. But the damage to the left rear corner is actually still there, so it was genuinely just diffuser they were changing, no other issues there.
So the 71 Ferrari now heads the pro category, probably pure and simply because of pit stop strategies and timings. But what I'm trying to work out is that's the 51 Ferrari there. That is currently sat in 1, 2.
The Porsche is driving away from him.
He is going away from him.
So Kevin Estre on board. Kevin's come up through various different ranks. He was mainly a Porsche man, then adopted by Andrew Caldy and the McLaren CRS crew, and then given back to Porsche when the opportunity came for this factory seat. Kevin's setting the outright qualifying record around the Nürburgring.
He's on a personal best as well in Sector 1. Let's just have a listen again. I love it.
He's been told to give it the message. He's been told push on, close that gap. 11 seconds to Johnny Adam. Haven't seen much of Darren Turner on board, whether that's just because it's fallen in line with our stints, but Darren Turner with Johnny Adam in the 97 car.
I've just turned the volume up on the car noise. Now we're listening to it. It was a little bit low for my liking, so I've just turned it up a bit. Now, it must have got back, because we haven't seen any more shots. The 50 car was going slow somewhere, wasn't it?
Haven't seen
it's
him
in the pits.
Back, but
it's in the pits, yeah.
Those guys just having a really troubled run. They look so strong. The pole sitter this afternoon, they didn't really shine through after that. You know, they started the week in a pretty troubled state when they walloped the wall coming through the karting corners on the inside. Who was on board that car when they had that incident? Christian Philippon, who is the bronze driver, managed to hit the wall on the inside there in the very first session. They lost quite a lot of running, got back out for the qualifying session on Wednesday night, and then subsequently had quite a good run through Thursday.
So the two Rebellions there running 9.9 seconds, so just under 10 seconds apart. Prost and, how would you pronounce that?
Besch, Matthias Besch.
Besch. Good job I asked you, because I wasn't going to say anything like that. It wasn't going to come out like that anyway, so Matthias Besch.
But Thomas Laurent is actually only 1.2 seconds behind Besch.
So that's what that was the fight we were watching.
Exactly.
Even though the graphic initially started on the two Rebellions and then flicked to the next two. So that's them there.
The battle is 13 versus 38.
Yeah, which was... is at the end of this line, well, before the yellow headlights, it's these two, I think, coming towards us here.
And again, the 38 car has not had a trouble-free run so far. That's the Ollie Jarvis car. So at the first pit stop, they had starter motor troubles. They haven't recurred, so potentially a temperature issue there. But then later on, they managed to have, I'm pretty sure, a nose change. Looking back through my notes, I'm sure they've had a new nose after an off as well. So another one of these cars that's been delayed, but managing to run back at the front of the class.
And what were we saying? Even though Ollie Jarvis isn't aboard that car, Laurent is aboard that car at the moment, but what were we saying? Ollie Jarvis is the type of person, he's been here, done it, got the T-shirt, done everything he needs to do in the manufacturer team-wise, finished on the podium. He will just kind of say, look, guys, this is going to be one on getting through without any too many dramas, and we've just got to keep calm.
Fantastic driver lineup in that car, though. Hoping Dung knows what he's doing, been here, done it before, knows how to deliver the result. Very quick in his single seat today's Thomas Laurent, less well known, but with the right coaching seems to be doing a fantastic job. We saw him off earlier in the week, but again, you know, he's in the car now, solid times. You see the WeatherTech poor at Ferrari, gonna rotate, don't do that. Oh, you've spun it.
Townsend Bell on board.
T-Bell's normally a very safe and reliable pair of hands. He set some pretty quick times in qualifying on Thursday night.
Running in 5th at the moment in the AM category. Here it is.
What happened?
Oh.
He went up the inside of the
55.
Cameron car.
That was for position, that battle.
Marco Ciocci on board that car at the moment, the number 55 Spirit of Race car.
And the gap now between 3rd and 4th overall, the LMP 2nd and 3rd is 0.3 of a second, which is this. No, not that battle we're watching. No. That's another battle which has got a second. That's another battle. There's two battles in P2 for 2nd and 3rd and 3rd and 4th. Half a second between 2nd and 3rd and 1.3 between 4th and 5th.
Yeah.
And they're a lap between each other, so they're not those. The four of them are not close. They have a lap between them.
Townsend Bell bringing in that WeatherTech Ferrari. I suspect that was a I'm tired, having a spin on me in lap kind of affair.
Do we get away with one of those?
I had quite a nice little sleep over the last couple of hours before coming in here. So.
I didn't. I was relaxing, but I didn't sleep. It wasn't the case I wasn't trying to sleep, but I didn't sleep. So by the time I go to bed after this session, it would have been 24 hours because we did warm up. We did warm up, yeah. How did we end up doing that?
That was my fault. I volunteered us for that, didn't I?
That's all right. We're here. We may as well do it. That's my argument.
Exactly. The
get on with it.
That can be spent getting on with it, the better.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So well, you haven't because you've been having other stuff to do, but I've kind of had a relaxing day yesterday and things like that. Oh, look at that. Yeah. Now, you see, if it was
Sleepy
me,
time.
I would put my crash helmet on so that no one could see me.
Visor down.
Yeah, exactly.
Gone, yeah. I mean, this is one of the things that we were talking about as we see these atmospheric shots. You know, the mechanics do get a rest. Well, some of them get a rest.
But it's not the comfiest place in the world, is it?
No, you make the best of what you can. But it's the race engineers on the pit wall. Those guys are the guys that get absolutely no rest whatsoever. They're there. They've got to be there on the end of the radio constantly for the drivers. You know, beyond a quick toilet stop, they're not allowed away from that box.
Which is quite amazing, really. The decisions they're having to make is quite amazing. The 71 car in. This is the leader in Pro, GTE Pro. This is our leading car. It's a drinks bottle change and a windscreen strip pulled off. Yeah.
Molina staying on board. Quick check of the brakes. They're doing a headlight tear off as well. Back on board with number 2, who's now pushing to come through up to 16th overall. El Bamba on board still. They are now, what are we?
9 laps away from second place.
Yeah. So they've pulled a lap back in the last hour, which isn't surprising. If
That's what
times.
Someone was calculating before. They can do a lap per hour on a P2 car.
But look at the times: 23.1 for Bamba, 26.5 for Tandy. So they're just trying to protect the number 1 car, and I don't think number 1 is going to be told to move over for the number 2 at any stage in this. It's going to be a case of, you know, yeah, okay, we'll have a race once we get to the morning, but certainly they're pacing the Tandy car, and that makes me wonder whether we'll break the distance record. We were well on for breaking the distance record while we had the fight at the front between the Toyotas and the Porsches, but now that Porsche have got this more comfortable position where they can back it off a little bit, I suspect that we may struggle to hit the distance record. New set of softs on car number 38. Car number 38, Tung on board.
Okay, so he was in a battle, wasn't he? Which is now obviously just dropped out of. There's still that battle going on between the 35 Signatech car, followed by the 40 Graf car. That battle still rages out on track. 2.6 seconds between those two. Hoping Tung heading towards us down the straight. I mean, they're not even going to, even if that number 2 car gets back up onto the podium, they're not going to fight. This car hasn't done anything wrong, so to speak. They've kept their noses clean. It's
about the championship now. You know, there were people saying as we came into the week, if the right Toyota won, the championship was very hard for Porsche to get.
Yeah.
Now the World Championship.
Oh, 49's off. That's your favourite car.
They'd been doing okay. They'd been keeping it out of trouble, but that's the outside of the Porsche curves. That's this new runoff area, which last year would have been a new tub job. Don't try and get it out of there. It's not coming out. No point in spinning the wheels there. Many people have tried that one before now. The reason you stopped is because that's what the gravel trap's there to do. So he's right on the edge of the tarmac runoff. They'll be able to push it forward. Yeah.
Oh, big, and then the tyre, would that be a tyre going? Oh, that was flat spotting.
That was flat spots. That was, I've got my foot so deep in the brake pedal that I'm through to the carcass of the tyre. The sparks we saw coming off the 4 corners
would be the metal, wouldn't they?
Yeah, the steel banding in these radial tyres, the reinforcement of the carcass of the tyre. The compound sits on top of the carcass, so they call that, and then add the compound to the top.
That car currently the last of our runners.
I think that, in fairness, Miro Konopka and his crew, they're kind of here to learn, understand, see what's going on. The Lannon Racing crew from the UK are supporting that entry, and I think having seen some of the social media stuff that some of those guys have been doing, they're here for the beer to a degree. They want to understand what the event's about, and they're rumoured to be one of the customers for the LMP1 class next year. So I think it is come here, do the atmosphere. American Opca's been here plenty. He knows this race. He knows what it's about. But it's always been kind of an underlying come here and bring some paying drivers effort from his crew.
Enjoy it.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, yeah, I just said that they were the last running car currently, which is 54 cars that are running. But you know what? If they're still running at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, or Sunday afternoon, they'd have achieved a huge thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might have had a few little dramas along the way, but they'd have had a ball and they'd have finished, which is something that currently sitting there, 2 of the 3 Toyotas aren't doing.
Yes. Into the slow zone that's now been created to clear this up through the Porsche curves. It's a long old slow zone, this one, as they go through the whole way through the Porsche curves and then get released on the exit of karting. See it there, the dash top left. They've got this onboard marshalling system, slow 80 kph, and that's controlled by race director as to what messages he gives there. He'll give safety car, he'll give safety car in, he'll give blue flags, give yellow flags, red flags if they ever happen, slippery surface flags, all up there. So on board, the drivers have got a live flagging system that's for them to pay attention to. Certainly at night makes the world of difference.
Just loads of stuff, and he's out of the slow zone. Look at that, up already. Poof. 3rd, 4th, 5th gear, 6th gear, heading down towards the final chicane. Oh, he's coming into the pits. The number 1 car, the leader, is heading to the pits.
So Tandy will stay on board. This should be fuel only. Tandy, technically defending champion, didn't get the opportunity to defend his crown last year. Won the race once in 2015, sharing that car with Earl Bamber and Nico Honkelberg on a being released from Force India for that weekend to come here and have a crack at it. That's the ARC, Brad.
Look at it.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Car 47, this says. Car 47, that is the...
not the Bratislava
No.
car.
I mean, to be fair, I saw that come up, but I didn't see the puncture bit. I just saw car 47 slow, and I thought they just got the 49
That's
car.
the Dallara of
Senegatio. I wonder how cool it is to launch a car like that out of a slow zone and flat out. I bet it's amazing. The Nico
in the back.
Yeah, I bet it's fantastic. I really do. The 31 Rebellion is in the pits. It's on pit road. It's in the pits. Nico Prost on board that car as it drives in. This is the 86 Gulf Porsche. And windscreen clean. You see all the dirt and grime on that car. And I was told, who told me? I think it might have been Peter Dumbreck told me last year that these cars now that win the races, these big ones, the Audis, the Porsches, and not Toyota because they never won it, and they never clean them. They go in the museum. But apparently now what they do to preserve it, they lacquer it with all the dirt underneath it.
Typically the race winners will end up going and running at Goodwood in a few weeks' time, up the hill at the Festival of Speed. They all get an invite. And normally the cars are left dirty there. Porsche, the winning Porsche certainly was 2 years ago. And then yeah, get lacquered and put away. Ford had a problem last year in that the winning GT, they didn't have enough spares to be able to do that. They had to ship the car back to America as we see a Porsche nearly going off into the side of an Aston Martin. That was a very late lunge.
But that's the position.
That's for position.
This is for position. It was nearly for the kitty litter.
It was.
But
so, you know, Ford last year wanted to do that, and the car is now in the museum in Detroit, but the car had to do one race in America before it could be put in there, so they had to clean it.
It didn't have Le Mans dirt on. Just for your information, 1.8 second split. The first 3 in Pro. Stanaway, Adam and Est. Aston Martin, Porsche. Let's listen. Going to be some big
Porsche in the toe there, but still not able to pull up to or alongside the Aston. So the Porsche delivering the lap time, different place in the lap. Look at the apex speed there. Porsche much quicker across the apex, riding back on board now. The Aston's going to stretch its legs. There we go. The Aston pulls away on the straight, but then the Porsche across the apexes just carries the speed so much better.
In corners, it's great, isn't it? Let's watch
this mid-engine layout. The Porsche just hasn't got enough pace to pull alongside. Aston going away from us again as we ride on board with Estre. Pulls 6th gear, heading down to Mulsanne. The Aston just stretches its legs and onto the brakes.
Glowing brake disc from the Porsche.
Through Mulsanne, and the run now down to Indianapolis. They've got another car ahead of them.
That's the other Aston Martin. That's the battle.
That is 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that's 1, 2, 3 in that shot.
And only 8 seconds behind them, Pierre Guidi on the 51 Ferrari. So he'll be coming into shot about now.
Less than 10 seconds between the top 4.
Shoot 2, that's a Toyota mechanic. I think. So through Indianapolis now, run down to Arnage. Estre was wanting to get past, isn't he? And through these twiddly bits, the Porsche's got the legs on the Aston. Now the Aston will stretch its legs away as we come down to the Porsche curves. First right-hand flick through this slower left, or the very quick, slight left-hander for the first real corner here.
Look at it, it is
through
right
the right
up into the slow zone.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to just slow it down. And the yellow headlights you can see behind, that's 4th.
What's interesting is the Johnny Adam cars, it goes into the slow zone, turns the big headlights off, like the spotlights that they've got in the front grille. And here we go again. Oh, he's got the jump on his teammate.
He has. Is that a mistake from Adam?
No, it's Stanaway who made the mistake.
What's going on?
Right. What is going on? The others all seem to think they're in a slow zone still.
Which they're not. And blue lights flashing away at the other. Look at this cluster of cars. So who's that coming into the pits?
I have no idea.
That's the Porsche.
Yeah. But I'm just looking out the window, actually physically looking at the 97 car. Yeah. Johnny Adam has passed Stanaway off that restart, off that slow zone.
So Estre comes down pit road, and Estre will be staying on board. This will be fuel only.
Look how dirty it is.
Yeah, I often wonder why people make white racing cars.
White racing cars are the best.
No.
Oh, they're lovely.
I had a white racing car.
Oh, they're beautiful.
I spent my entire life cleaning it.
Oh, the 27
Delara going back into the garage. Seeing the number 21 LMP2 car, Rosenquist, on board. Has no side light. Interesting to see if they make them fix that now. I suspect they will. It's one of the Dragon Speed cars.
Well, yeah, white race cars are just fab. They are great. What does amaze me, slightly similar, is the colours of our leading LMP cars. The Toyota and the Porsche have the similar colour schemes.
Yeah, everyone complained about that
when they came
the last
out.
2 years. You know, it's been, come on guys, could you not make one pink and one purple? Right, Kevin Estre back on his way.
Yeah, here we go. Debris on track, zone 18 on the right-hand side. So, what's going on in the battles?
In LMP2.
LMP2, there isn't. That battle kind of...
Well, we're owed a pit stop by Beth.
Yes, you're going to say that sorted it out, wasn't it? When Hoping Tongue came, when he took over.
So when Besh gives us his pit stop, it's all going to be extremely close again.
Yeah.
Lots of yellow headlights, so lots of GTE cars running together as they come through the second chicane.
There's
so
actually
95 back on it.
Yeah, but there's 3 of them here. Look, there's 3 of them again.
Yeah, Greedy's caught up onto them.
That is Stanaway being a bit asleep.
But what I don't understand is Pierre Greedy's taken 10 seconds out of them.
But they all got blocked up here, didn't they, with the P2 cars at the final chicane?
That must be that Pierre Greedy got released from the slow zone whilst in it, or just before it happened. I think what actually happened was the slow zone ended while they were in it.
Yes.
And he didn't release, and that was him getting caught out there. Stanaway getting caught out by the slow zone ending. But the person who gained the most from it was Pierre Greedy, because he was still coming into the slow zone
and didn't really
have to slow. So that's closed that gap right up, and now we're going to see a fantastic battle, and can't wait for them to cycle through their stops, and then we'll have Kevin Estre running with them as well.
That's the second, and we're going to see the next one is the Ferrari. That's the first 3.
Big opposite lock there from Pierre Greedy, coming through the apex of the left-hander at Indianapolis.
Yeah, it's Adam Stanaway, Pierre Guidi, and then Canan, but he's 25 seconds down.
The other car behind them is
somebody else.
Car.
Yeah, it's another car in there. So this is the Aston Martin teammates. Yeah, we were talking about this about 30 minutes ago about they'll just be told to kind of like hold station, but
didn't hold station when it came to somebody being asleep when the slow zone got lifted, though, did they?
Well, as you say, Stanaway would have been expecting to still be doing another 300 or 400 metres in it, but it ended by the organisers, and Johnny Adam was right on it. He was kind of like, whoa, we're off.
Yeah.
And Estre behind, because he got through as well. He followed Johnny Adam through.
So in the LMP2 class, we're seeing some charges on John-Eric Verne in the Orica Manor. Number 24 set a personal fastest lap, 3:29.8 last time round, and is now setting 2 green sectors. So he's obviously been told by the team, get on with it. We want an overall podium. Can we close these gaps down, please? Because he's a lap behind the leaders in class, and a stop behind as well. He owes us a stop.
Yeah, actually, I thought you owed us more. Yeah, just one.
One.
That was on board here with Anthony Davison. Oh, is Davison still on board it? Oh, he's now onto here. Yeah, Anthony Davison. He's onto the second page now. He is on board.
23.5 for Davidson versus 27.5 for Tandy. Tandy going slower than the LMP2 qualifying time.
Davison pit road. I think that's. Oh no, it's not. No.
No, that's the Toyota.
Davison on pit road, yeah. He might have enjoyed that, mightn't he?
I think
3:20.
Toyota will probably have said, go out and give us 18 hours of qualifying laps because we don't really care. You know, in terms of World Championship, this is important for them, that the number 8 car stays well and truly in the fight and keeps collecting the points. But, you know, as long as it finishes within, is it 75% of the race distance completed by the leader, then he's going to score full championship points for 3rd place in the championship now, which is all that matters to Toyota.
Fuel going in, drinks bottles changed.
Still fuel going in. Away he goes. Electric starting and then poof onto the internal combustion engine as it goes down. Number 7, what are we seeing here? The number 7.
Well, this is the car that's out.
This is the replay of the moment we lost the car. Him jumping off the side pod.
That was Kobayashi. That was at the first thing was at 44 minutes past. Then it was 11 minutes.
Now we're seeing the number 9 car destroying itself, frankly.
which was only 15 or 16 minutes after the 7 car stopped. That moment happened, that Lapierre moment happened on the restart from the Kobayashi stopping.
Yeah.
Didn't it? It all kind of was rolled into one. So that's how we end up with only one Toyota currently sat on an outlap in 48th position with 12 hours, 12 minutes to go.
I imagine Toyota will be cycling the crews now to try and keep people fresh, try and keep motivation up, make sure that the guys are all getting well rested, because it'll be pretty hard to motivate themselves now to carry on through the rest of this race. They've got to keep the championship in sight though. They need to make sure that that number 8 car is collecting the points. And
they don't stay on site, do they, the mechanics? So would it be, tell you what, some of you go back to the hotel, kind of have a shower, get yourself sorted.
Absolutely. If I was team manager down at Orica who are running that car, I'd be making sure that, you know, go on guys, let's have you back at 9 o'clock in the morning, and then we can swap the guys across the cars and give everyone a fair chance, get everyone back for 3 o'clock. And
there's no point in just annoying everybody and keeping them there for no reason.
No, absolutely. So they'll cycle through, I'm sure.
Watching this battle in GTE Pro, that is the 3 of them all in a line. Johnny Adam, Stanaway and Guidi. They are basically 9/10 of a second. Is that right? Am I looking at that correctly? 1.5 seconds.
Yeah, 1.5 seconds exactly.
Between the 3 of them.
And again, the same thing with the Ferrari. Look, you know, the Astons stretch their legs away on top speed, but again, the Ferrari much better through the corners, through the slow stuff, closes down onto the back of them, and then they run away again as they come to the straights. But that's what balance of performance is all about. That's exactly what we're trying to do. We're trying to equalise the cars around a lap. Johnny Adam sitting in the tow now.
This should be Stanaway, won't it? Because that's an accident in front.
Sorry, yeah.
Car 38's pit stop under investigation. That is the Jackie Chan car. That's the Ollie Jarvis car.
That is the Jarvis car. Those guys don't seem to be able to make any luck either. I wonder what that's for. To be something like a second gun over the line. That was the car that took soft tyres and tongue stayed in. So it's going to be something like, yeah, somebody leaving the gun over 13. Rebellion comes in from the lead of the LMP2 class, second overall. Matthias Besch. He should be staying in that car. As we see an LMP2 car, that's the Villabora Corsa Dallara, which we saw off shortly, well, not that long ago, running past us, stretching the gap out. Johnny Adams sacrificing his run for the traffic, or sorry, Richie Stanaway sacrificing his run to let the traffic through.
They've got one more behind them as well. There's a driver change there going on in the 13 car. That is got to be Cannell getting in, yeah? Is he in that car? I'm just trying to find out. No. That's the other. I'm looking at the wrong car on my board. That's got to be Heinemeister Hansen.
So Heinemeister Hansen had been in. He'll be out the car now, or am I? No,
because it wasn't PK. It was a black crash helmet.
It was, yeah.
So it's got to be the
Hansen, yeah.
It has to be, doesn't it? So.
Yeah, sorry, I'm 9 hours out of bed.
Yeah,
because it was Heinemeister Hansen in the car when we saw it go off earlier in the race, and I was thinking that was during this stint, but it wasn't. That was just as it was. The sun was starting to set.
I was looking at completely the wrong car. I was looking at the 31, not the 13.
Yeah, it is Heinemeister Hansen in the car now, so he's on his outlap.
Yeah, that's promoted Hoping Tung in the 38 car up into third on basically strategy in pit stops.
Yeah, and they've both given us 18 stops, so that's fair. And then
is that okay? Well, they've now under investigation. Remember,
Nico Prost though is where's Nico sitting? So 17 seconds, and he doesn't owe us a stop. So that's now genuine. We've now got a 17-second gap, Prost to Tongue, and then looks like a 30-second gap back again to Hanemar Hansen, with the stops having shaken through. So they've managed to stretch that quite nicely. Hanemar Hansen, one of the better silvers. He does have a nasty habit of going off, as we saw earlier, but he does have the pace.
These three are clear as well now. These three are on their own. The car behind, I think, must be an AM car, but those three, Adam Stanaway and Perguidi, are on their own and shouldn't have any traffic for a little bit. That's the Ferrari we're on board with there, I think.
Number 2 gives us a pit stop. So now up to 16th overall, still 16th overall, lap 167 for that car. Leader on 185 in, and we're going to see him come out. That looks like the lanky figure of Brendan Hartley getting in. Won't forgive me for calling him that.
He's tall though, isn't he?
He is. You see it when they're doing the straps, how tall he really is in terms of they come up over his shoulders, where with the other guys they come across the top of the shoulder. So this car, having suffered a MG UK failure earlier in the race, they're having to strip the car off to change that, go in through the cockpit and change both front corners, losing, it was more than an hour for sure, to that as he heads off.
The 2 dots aren't signalling second overall, they're signalling second in LMP1, which it is. It's a Porsche 1-2 in LMP1, because there's only 3 of them left, and the Toyota is third.
47th overall for the Davidson Toyota. Davidson 322.7 last time through. Hartley's in lap 328, but Nick Tandy in the 26s. So seeing the tyres there, number 2. 7-lap-old mediums gone on that car. So not brand spankers. Surprised to see them putting mediums on at this stage. I'd have thought now the transition would have happened to softs, but they obviously feel there's enough tarmac temperature to get away with running the
This is a position
mediums.
change here, because
Aston on Aston.
Yeah.
Just making sure he's seen him. Flash, flash, flash. And through he goes. See it flash there. So again, that position back, Richie Stanaway. Negrao getting out of the Alpine.
1.5 seconds still between the top 3 in this battle. Now, hang about. There's a Ferrari.
It's a Clearwater car, or not Clearwater, Spirit of Race.
But there's the Ferrari at the back is really close now, the 3rd Ferrari.
Yeah, it has been for quite a few laps.
Stanaway
he's
taken a second out. Now he's passed, he's taken a second away, where they were only split by 1.5 before.
Been told to get on with it, hasn't he? You know, get past and get on. So Pierre Guidi now onto the back of Johnny Adam. The Clearwater Ferrari getting out the way as they go up through the first right-hander. Get the car stopped for Dunlop. Carry a lot of speed across the first apex, slower across this apex of the right-hander. Away he goes. The headlights you can see there are him being chased for position.
So that's second, 3rd, and then that is a NAM car, number 60.
That is, that's one of our the bling car that Louise rather likes.
Yeah.
The Clearwater racing car, number 60.
likes a bit of bling. The 34 Tockworth Motorsport car just coming onto pit road.
Those guys having a pretty solid run. The plucky little team from Leeds. Where are they?
That's what I'm looking for. I can't.